So now we're going to be talking about keyframing. So I have just copied this clip which I had here in here. So what is keyframing? So keyframing is a way in which you can lock the property of a video or audio or of anything at one point, and then you can just change the same property at some other point. For example, if we want this image to have a zoom number of 1, the initial number, I want it here. But as I go towards the end of this clip, then I want the zoom to be, say, 1.4. Let's say 0.4. That we can achieve with keyframing, because if I go 1.4 here, it's already zoomed in at 1.4. You see, here I want the value to be 1. So that's when we set keyframes on specific areas. So to set up the keyframe in DaVinci, what you need to do, you go click here. So if I click here, any changes I would make here would be locked at this point. So let's say I don't want to do any change now, but when I go here, then I want this image to be zoomed in till here. I want the position of X to be here. I want the position of Y to be here. And rotation, do I want? Not really. So let's watch this video again. On full screen, press P. So now you can see that the video is kind of slowly zooming in. The video is getting a bit stuck because it's a bit taxing on my system because I'm screen recording as well. But yeah, if you see here in the transform panel, then you can see the numbers changing. And they're going towards our final position. So that's what keyframing is, and we had the final position somewhere here. So let's just turn off the video here. And you can do this to anything what you see here in stabilization, lens correction. You can do anything which has this diamond, you can do keyframing. So let's do a keyframing at crop. So let's put the initial value. You know, I want to make that effect, that kind of window opens up like this. So let's do the initial value 560. So I can see that the top is cropped and you can see this check mark. I think you might have it black. So what you need to do, you go here on the left side of the timeline, you go viewer background and you do checkboard. Yours is black. For me, black sometimes is confusing. That's why, because if there is a little bit of black left, I cannot really see it while editing the video. So I think just to be sure, I have put it to checkboard. But when you have exported the video, this would be black. So this wouldn't be a checkboard, don't worry. So this would be black. So anyways, coming back to cropping. My initial crop, I want it to be 560 from top and bottom. So we put the numbers, maybe go a little bit more here, yeah? And then I want to keyframe this. So let's keyframe the position of the crop top and bottom. I've also done it right and left because why not? And then when we go at this position, I want it back to 0. So now if we play full screen, you can see the image opening up. But now I want the screen which opened, I want it to be a bit slower. So I cannot really change it here. So for that, I need to go in the keyframing panel, which is new in DaVinci Resolve 20. What do you need to do? You go click on these diamonds here. You go show keyframe tray. You go up. It takes a bit of space in the timeline. We don't really need the audio. So we go here. And here you can see the changes what we made. You have all the parameters here, you know, the zoom, X, everything. So all these changes, you see the initial and final diamonds, that is for the zoom, everything what we did here. And all these little changes are for the cropping, because you see how fast our crop went from 1 to here. But if you want to change the duration of the effect, say something here, we can just select everything and drag it. If we want this to be here, we can just select this and drag here. So now let's watch everything again in full screen. So our image is zooming in and the video opens up like this, which looks really cool. So yeah, that is keyframing. But this is not just it. You can do keyframing with everything. You can do pitch, yaw, and you can of course control the keyframes here. What I would want to do is I would just close this tray. And when we talk about keyframe, there's also a really cool thing you might have seen in a lot of videos. It's called speed ramping. What speed ramping is, let's take this drone shot. Yeah, I think it's a little bit longer drone shot. Say it starts from here and then it goes up, 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 and then goes up until here. It's still going. What I want to do, I want this shot to play normally like this, and then I want this shot to speed up like from here, and then it just shows the last part. How do you do that? Also with keyframing. So now you have to watch it really carefully. So what we need to be doing is, it is not the same process because here we cannot really change the speed. What our initial thought is that we go from normal speed, then fast until here, and then normal speed here. And we cannot change it here because yeah, there's no speed change option. So you right click on this clip, you go retime controls. When we do retime controls, then we have our clip becomes like this. Here I would just zoom in, say if you want the change to be here, yeah, then I would want to add a speed point, and then if I want the change to end here, so I would do add speed point again. And now what we can do, you can either change the speed in between to say, let's say 800, yeah? And it goes really quick. But in my opinion, it looks really choppy that it goes slow, then fast, and then down. I don't really like it, and you can change these speed points like this. You can also change the speed points like so. See, it looks really choppy. We want to make it better. So what do? We do with the keyframes again. What I need to do now, I need to go, this is new in DaVinci Resolve 20. I'll make it full screen. We go to keyframes here. So there is a keyframe panel which opens up at the bottom. Let's close it. We have a keyframe panel here which opens up here. Now we don't have any keyframes here because I didn't do any keyframing, but if we go down here, then we have some keyframes, which is the speed of the clips that we changed, right? But what we need to do, we need to go here, and here you would see keyframe curves. This is really important. If it's not clear, you should watch this 2-3 times this tutorial. We go keyframe curves, and here you can see the actual curve. Yeah, we go up, this goes quick and then slow. But that's, you see the speed here is 1, and it suddenly goes to 8, and then it goes to 1 again. We can also, remember we did 800, we can increase the speed here, because with this arrow you can only change the speed up to 800. That's why we come here. Let's do 20 times the speed, and now let's play back. It looks really bad, the animation. It's also getting stuck. But what we need to do, we need to smoothen out the speed so that it slowly goes from 100 to 20 times, from 1 to 20 times, and then come back to 1 time. What do we need to do? We go to select these 2 key points, and then here you see this little curve that says ease in and ease out. If we do it, then there is a bit of curve here, you see? And we can also zoom in here, and if you touch this, if you elongate this, then the curve becomes a little bit smoother. You see, it becomes a bit more smoother. So now what's going to happen is our footage would go from speed 1 to 20 times really nicely. It's not really playing good, so what I can do now, if it's not really playing good, I can maybe change the resolution. So if I go settings here, let's go 720 pixels. So now the resolution of the video wouldn't be great, and now hopefully it plays good. So let's watch it full screen. I pressed P. You see, so now it's going really nice. It's a bit more smoother. It's still not playing good. but in the upcoming section I'm gonna show you how to play with proxy files. So yeah, that's how you can do a speed ramping. But you can do a lot with these curves. Let me show you another example. For example, we are playing this clip, right? We did the curve and everything. Let's reset this, yeah? Reset the transform, reset the cropping, okay? And here, what I want to do, I want this drone clip to come in the screen from the right-hand side. You might have seen those animations. So what I can do now, I can do another keyframing for the position. So if I just drag it this way, you know, go to position X, the position X is here. So it is out of the screen now. And I can set up a keyframe here. I'm not setting up here because we don't need the key to keyframe everything. We are just making change here. So let's do it here. And now at this second, I want it at its normal position. So here, if we play this, you can see it just comes like a really bad animation, right? And I also want it to be a bit quicker. So what we need to do, we need to select this clip, then go to keyframes again. Then we go to parameters, and I can see that the parameters which is chosen is retime speed, which was what we made now, but we don't want that. Now we want the position X, because that's the change what we made now. And what we can also do is that we can shorten this so that the clip comes really quickly. Yeah. So this was the initial position, and this is the final position. You can also do the S curve here. So we go ease in and ease out. So it comes kind of a bit more smoothly. And you can see here, it is not at its final position. It's not at 0. I can also see on the screen here. This comes really nice. And you can do all of this with a logo as well. For example, let me show you something really cool. Let's go master. We have some PNG. Let's say if we want this, you know, location title here in the corner, if we want it to come here in the corner, you know, like so. And I also don't want the, you know, you see something here? You see this? I also don't want this to come in. So you see I'm dragging and I'm sort of zooming in the video, but you can also go up and down with like command or control and scroll up and down. I also don't want this. So I'm just gonna crop, select this clip and then crop from the bottom until it crops that. Oh, I think it's cropped. Yeah. Now if I press Z, it's a normal location. So now what I want the same X factor, same X, same X parameter to be copied on this little icon. So we're gonna be doing Command C, and let's go Option or Alt V. So now it's gonna copy the position. Position, you cannot separate the position between X and Y, so let's just see how it looks. So it might have the exact same graph as how we had in this clip. So you see you can bring any logo, anything here, but we want the initial position of this to be at the bottom. So let's keep it here at the bottom. So it is at -240. So if we just copy this number to the initial position as well, so then it wouldn't move. So I just copy pasted -240 so that we are making sure that the only parameter which is changing is on the x-axis, not on the y-axis. And if we watch it full screen, so this is how you can bring anything. And if you want to take it out, what you can do, you go here, select another keyframe, and then here you can just bring it out. So if I want it to go that side, I can just take it out here. And then here we can do same nice, select all the keyframes, and then in and out points, make it a little bit more. You have to always make sure that this line is not bent. This always has to be straight. Yeah. Now let's play again. Comes in and goes out. So you see, you don't have to be a crazy animator to do all these things. It is just super easy in DaVinci Resolve. And this whole system, this whole keyframing thing, the graph they have introduced in the DaVinci 20, which is really cool. And you can also zoom in and out here, you know, if you want to go really zoom in, or you can choose this lens, so that would show the entire keyframe. But if I'm here and if I want to zoom in here, you can do it here as well. And you can also, of course, move the graph with this hand, or yeah, you can choose everything with the arrow. What you can also do, you can just plug it out. So you can make it full screen like so. So sometimes if you have a lot of things going on, you can make it full screen. And now if I press escape or exit, then I'm here. If I go full screen, escape and exit. So that is really handy. And I have all of this thing the same. I didn't really change anything, and I use it a lot, like with a lot of things I do. And then if you want to go back to the initial position, then you can go to the list, and here it would show you all the parameters that we have changed. And of course you can change the duration of all the parameters. So here was the parameters, here was the curve. It is just really cool. And with keyframing, you can also do zoom in or zoom out in the video. So you might have seen those travel videos where they kind of zoom in, zoom out, which is really cool, and we can do it here as well. So if we just copy these two clips, and you have to watch all of this carefully, because I want to see all of these effects in the project file. So yeah, I'm not just doing it for anything. Yeah, so let's just mute it. Here what we're going to be doing is, you know, that zoom in effect that we're going to be doing here. So let's say if we went 4 frames this way, so we copied these two clips here. I go in the middle and I go 4 frames to the left. So how do you go 4 frames to the left? Just press arrow 4. And here what we can do, we can choose the initial position. And if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, we can choose the final position. So you don't really see that clip because now it is showing the other clip. But if we play it, you see how it looks. So it's kind of zooming in the last moment. And here I want that zoom to continue. So here can be the final initial position and 4 frames, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I want the zoom to be here. And let's play this. But I think it has to be a little bit quicker. It's going a little bit slow. So let's fix that up in the keyframe panel. So parameters, we had the video parameters, which was for position, which was from last time, but now we do zoom X and zoom Y. So here I can see that the zoom is happening here. Maybe I want it to go a little bit this way, and then I want it to be a bit more smoother. And on this clip as well, we want to shorten that. So we selected this clip, and then you can just shorten this one. Oh no, it's taking both the keyframes, so just shorten this point. And then we kind of make it like this. It looks a bit weird, but what can make it better is putting a zoom blur that we're going to be talking in the next section, because then we're going to effects panel. But yeah, you can do zoom in like this, and you can also do just zoom here. See if I have the initial position, let's reset everything. So if I have initial position here, and then I want to zoom in like so here, we can reduce the zoom duration, and then here, and now let's watch it. You might have seen in a lot of videos, and it just takes 2 seconds to master this. I would also maybe make this S-curve a little bit smoother, a bit more round. So the more round and curvy it is, the more smooth it is. You see how nice it looks. Let's watch it in full screen. So we have a lot of zoom going on, and if you want to make it nicer, you can put the zoom like a what we had in here. So we have the media pool. You go to let's say power bins, we have the whoosh. So what we did was we went to master, we went to whooshes, and then you go to folder number 3, and then you can choose what whoosh you want. Probably this one. Oh, it's mute. Yeah, this sounds good. So we want whoosh 3 to be here. Now we have to search where the transformation took place. So we can go to keyframing, we choose this clip. Here is, and I can do solo, so we are just listening to this. Let's hear it. It's so satisfying. So you have to also make sure is that the duration of the zoom is, I can see that the zoom here, the sound is over and the animation is still going on. So that's why I would move this keyframe here. And let's play it again. Now it really fits the... So I really want to see this in the project section. So just make sure that you're implementing this. You can see at the starting of the zoom, it is like this. And just when the sound is over, we are at our final position. So yeah, this graph of keyframing, it just helps tons. So I hope that keyframing is clear to you. If it's not, just rewatch this again. I'm sure it might be a bit too much information, but that's how it is. And that's how we learn, just rewatching, repracticing, and you have tons of clips to practice from. So yeah, let's move to the next section.